Hello, everyone. Today, let's talk about the story of a Chinese deity, Jingwei. In northern China, there is a mountain covered with dense jade trees called Mount Fajiu. At the top of the tallest jade tree lives a bird with a white beak, red feet, and beautiful patterns on its head. This bird is the protagonist of today's story, Jingwei. Jingwei's original name was Nua. Oh, and just to clarify, she is not to be confused with the great creator goddess Nua. They simply have names that sound alike. Nua is the youngest daughter of the Yan Di. Her mother is the ancient queen Tingyao, and her sister is Yaoji, who is often referred to as the goddess of Wushan in popular lore. Nua was very cute, often wearing little flowers in her hair, a blue long dress, and little red shoes. She loved to run and play all over the mountains and fields. As the Yan Di's most cherished daughter, she particularly enjoyed watching the sunrise over the East Sea. One day, while Nua was heading to the East Sea to watch the sunrise, a sudden fierce wind arose over the sea, and towering waves crashed violently. Before Nua could use her magic, a massive wave overturned her small boat, and she fell into the sea, losing her life as she was swallowed by the merciless ocean. Upon hearing of Nua's death, the Yan Di was heartbroken. He was filled with guilt and sorrow, as he couldn't use his sunlight to revive his beloved daughter who had been swallowed by the sea. One day, accompanied by his guards, the Yan Di went hunting on Mount Fajiu to ease his mind. Suddenly, a blue divine bird with a white beak, red feet, and beautiful patterns on its head appeared, circling the Yan Di and refusing to leave. The Yan Di raised his bow to shoot the bird, but his guards quickly reminded him that this divine bird was the transformed Nua. It turned out that after Nua's death, her spirit transformed into a divine bird that roamed Mount Fajiu. The little flowers she wore in her hair became the beautiful patterns on the bird's head, her little red shoes turned into red claws, and her blue long dress transformed into blue feathers. The Yan Di, seeing the bird flying around and calling out, "Jingwei, Jingwei," was moved to tears. He named the divine bird Jingwei and established a shrine for her on Mount Fajiu. Since Mount Fajiu was the source of the Jiang River, he also appointed Jingwei as the goddess of the Jiang River. Jingwei's heart was filled with anger towards the East Sea. Every day at sunrise, she would fly to the western mountains to gather stones and branches, repeatedly casting them into the East Sea, determined to fill it up. Later, Gonggong, the water god and great-grandson of the Yan Di, learned of Jingwei's story. He used his powers to cause a great flood, washing yellow silt from the highlands into the East Sea, intending to help Jingwei fill it up. From then on, the northern part of the East Sea turned yellow. Realizing the threat of being filled, the East Sea used its magic to wash the silt back to the shore. The silt settled along the coast, providing fertile land for the coastal residents. Later, Jingwei settled on Mount Fajiu. Whenever the Jiang River rose and threatened to flood, Jingwei would send white doves to warn the local people. In the first year of the Zhenghe period during the Song dynasty, a severe drought struck the area around Mount Fajiu, with no rain falling from spring to summer, causing all the seedlings in the fields to wither and die. The local officials, along with the people, went to the Jingwei shrine on Mount Fajiu to pray for rain. The next day, heavy rains fell, alleviating the drought. When the emperor at the time, Song Huizong Zhaoji, heard about this, he recognized Jingwei as a deity beneficial to the country and its people. He bestowed upon her the title of the Three Holy Princess and expanded the Jingwei shrine into the Temple of the Three Holy Princess. After the Temple of the Three Holy Princess was established, prayers for relief from floods and droughts were always answered. In gratitude for Jingwei's protection of the people around Mount Fajiu, the local residents began to hold annual ceremonies on the 18th day of the third lunar month. During these ceremonies, they would worship the Three Holy Princess and pray for Jingwei's blessing for peace and safety in the coming year. That's it for today's story. See you in the next one.